Carter, can you talk to me a little bit about what an SID does and just what SID stands for?
Yeah, for sure. So SID stands for Sports Information Director. You might have heard the title Media Relations, Media Coordinator, Strategic Communications. It all means the same thing when talking about collegiate athletics. And so we handle a wide variety of tasks. As you know, I kind of talk about it in three kind of buckets, if you will. One is the media relations aspect in terms of interfacing with outside media who want to do sit-down interviews with our coaches and student athletes, administrators, anyone associated with Virginia Tech athletics. In that is services such as game notes creation, and so those are packets of stats and information, bullet points that we look up and present those to our TV partners, our print media, our radio broadcasters, so that they can tell our story best. We also do work on the website in terms of updating the schedules, biographies, any feature story production that we do. That generally originates from our office. And then the third bucket that a lot of people see and get to interact with is social media as well. So our office here at Virginia Tech, we are responsible for all of the Olympic sports. Football is kind of its own beast. They have some staffers who report directly to the football team, but they certainly do it with the help of people on the external team as well.
So obviously SID isn't something you can really study during college or go to college for. You can do phases of it per se, but kind of talk to me about how you kind of got into this craft, this profession, and how it's led to where you are now.
Yeah, I was in your shoes not too long ago. I took a class. We had to go interview somebody who did a job that we thought was interesting, related to the comms profession. And so at the time, I was a young guy. I knew I liked sports. I knew there was some kind of SID type office. I didn't really know exactly all the possibilities that existed there, but I sought them out and I sent them an email. I sat down and just grilled them on what they did, what they liked about the job. So after the project, I responded back to them and said, hey, I'd like to have an opportunity to work with you guys, and that kind of got the ball rolling. Fast forward to my senior year, I started interning with them beginning in the summer, and then I was taking on more and more responsibilities. By the time it was my final semester, the spring semester, I was the sport contact for the lacrosse program. I kind of struggled, as any young person would, but I got through it and learned a lot, and I was still intrigued about the opportunity. So I stayed with it. I graduated. I was offered an opportunity to stay here on campus within the office, and I've been here ever since, and I've loved it.
Yeah, so it's got you here now. You're the SID of women's basketball, and obviously with the season upcoming, what can you tell me most about kind of preparing for the season, as well as kind of how important it is to have a bond with not only the players but also the coaches on the team?
Yeah, I'll start with the coaches. So I was very fortunate in April, late March, April, when we were hiring Coach Duffy. I was able to work with our Director of Athletics, Whit Babcock, and he sent me on the plane to go pick her up. So I was one of the first 6 or 7 Hokies to go greet her. Once she got here, she knew almost nobody. And so for me to already be in her corner was huge. But just in season prep in general, for me, what I've got to do is make sure that those bios are accurate and updated, that I know the pronunciations and how to say everyone's names. I can tell everyone else how to do it. My game notes are in a good spot. I produced a draft of them. Getting your art boards ready for social media, just getting the whole team behind the team together and making sure we know how we're going to best represent the program, not just internally but externally, is crucial. And then you asked about relationship building with the student athletes. Arguably the best part of the job is getting to interface with them. The young people on campus, they're the reason that I have a job, is to support them, right? So it's always good when you can make a small impact in some way. So the biggest thing I would want to state for you is trust. Trust is huge, not just from Coach Duffy, but from her entire staff and the student athletes. If I'm at practice enough that they know me and they feel like they can trust me, then that's important.